10th of May 2024. Hi guys, welcome to Rants, the comedy and tragedy of living in Singapore. I've just returned home from Thailand for some administrative matters, and it was 39 degrees C in Chiang Mai. Back in February, I made a couple of vlogs entitled Mekong Musings. Or if you're interested, do check them out at my other channel, Traveller's Tales by Hunkle Chan. From recent news reports, Minister Shanmugam seems to be revisiting the issue of drugs and the death penalty with a view backed by the majority. Preliminary findings from a Ministry of Home Affairs survey conducted in 2023 showed that about 69% of respondents agreed or strongly agreed that the mandatory death penalty was an appropriate punishment for trafficking a significant amount of drugs. This was up from 66% recorded in 2021. Mr. Shanmugam said that MHA will publish a full report of the most recent survey later this year. Well, I don't belong to that majority. It's not that I condone drug trafficking. I believe in a nuanced approach, and the judge should be allowed to judge each case individually and never be compelled to deprive a person of his right to live based just on numbers. I passed by many shops with this signboard when I was in Chiang Mai. They are certainly not doing a booming business. The novelty has worn off. Ironically, 30 to 40 years ago, when hill tribe people were stealthily offering weed to trekkers in the mountains, business was always good. Now, I'm not against stringent law enforcement, but the folks we should put under the microscope are the billionaires and not the harmless bacteria. This week, I shall give poor Mr. Tan Kin Lian a break and comment about something from Prof Tay Kheng Soon. About a week ago, Prof Tay pulled out an article allegedly from the New England Journal of Medicine. The post claimed that the most productive age of a person is from 60 to 70 years, that the second most productive human stage is the age from 70 to 80 years, and the third most productive time is between the ages of 50 and 60. Before that, the person was said to have not reached his peak. Therefore, if you are 60, 70 or 80 years old, you are at the best level of your life. Not surprisingly, that article cannot be found in the New England Journal of Medicine. It was confirmed by NEJM editorial coordinator Grace Hanson-Diwa. Now check out the clickable link in the description. Then, someone by the name of Willie Tan, obviously Prof Tay's fan, said that he sees BS more clearly over time. And Prof Tay agrees that his BS detector gets better with age. Well, sorry Prof, but your BS detector failed to work this time. For some old folks, they merely change from believing one kind of BS to another kind. When I finally commented on his post, I was expecting a long debate. I've been holding back, but I really need to say this, Prof Tay. Your BS detector is not working here, and I've read enough medical journals to know that this is fake, and yet it has 66 likes and 13 shares, thanks to your influence. The New England Medical Journal has categorically denied that this article was ever published by them. Now, let's not spread fake news, or at least not ruin the journal's reputation. I think it originated from some Indian man's Lincoln account. I was not disappointed. Prof Tay gave his reply, which even earned him a like. If only I have fans like that. This is what Prof Tay said. We live in an age of free media. Therefore, we have to judge for ourselves. To be able to do this needs vast knowledge. In this case, my readings and interest in neuroscience has helped me grasp the issues involved. This plus personal direct experience. Relying only on authorities is not enough. I consider myself a rebel, but I'm not automatically anti-mainstream. Both sides can mislead, and this piece is an example of an unsubstantiated, misleading piece, regardless of whether it challenges or supports the official narrative. Now, isn't it an irony that the author had dishonestly attributed it to a mainstream journal? Now, even more ironical is that Prof Tay himself has been a victim of impersonation. Why is he condoning this sort of misrepresentation? He asked me for proof. Well, I've bothered to check with the New England Medical Journal. Know this man? He's Chua Cai Lan. You'll find him all over the web and in numerous YouTube videos. That's not surprising considering the fact that he has published more than 100 books, appeared in many TV programs, and even produced several movies. The media in Hong Kong honors him as one of the 4 talented men there. 香港四大才子. To be ranked in the same club as Jin Yong, Ni Kuang, Huang Zhan is such an honor. It's even a greater honor to be the only surviving 才子 today. Many people have forgotten that Chua Lam is a Singaporean. 82 years old, Mr. Chua has many fans and quite a number of haters as well. Based mostly in Hong Kong, Mr. Chua is pretty well known but not as well accepted by Singapore society, mainly due to a large group of morally uncompromising folks who are put off by Mr. Chua's values and outlook in life. One pathetic academic even labelled him as a dirty old man who can be readily found lounging around Chinatown. Let me give an example of a Chua Lam joke. He was shooting a program on Japanese cuisine, accompanied by 2 美女. Now, one of the bimbos,美女, remarked, 蔡生啊，啲中國人呢，除咗啲台凳之外啊，睇到有腳嘅嘢就會諗住點去食咗佢啊。Chua Lam replied, 係啊，有時我睇到你個腳呢，都會咁諗嘅。Now that's a typical Chua Lam joke, and I'm not sure if that episode was ever shown in Singapore, dubbed in Mandarin. But we certainly had a pathetically watered-down version of Kam Ye Pat Chit Fong on Channel 8 in the 1980s. There was no alcohol, no Ni Kuang, no James Wong, but they had Teo Se Lee, Jasru Low, and Eileen Tan on the set, if I remember correctly. They would talk about edgy topics like single motherhood and polyandry. The response from angry aunties and their compliant husbands was expected. It was a clear signal for Chua Lam that it does not fit into sanitary Singapore. I've written quite a bit about Kam Ye Pat Chit Fong. Do check out the clickable link in the description. While I do not fully embrace Chua Lam's indulgent lifestyle, the man is in his 80s and getting frail. He may not be with us for very long. Instead of dismissing him completely just because of his attitude and his lifestyle choices, it would be a pity if we don't attempt to understand him as a complete person, even if he had some rough edges. Besides, Mr. Chua is far more talented and has contributed far more to society than that professor who disparaged him. Now, in Singapore society, Mr. Chua remains a highly controversial character. He has been blasted and condemned for his liberal views, and my mother hates his guts. To me, Chua Lam is a national treasure, who is at least of equal value to Jimmy Lin, if not Joseph Schooling. Now, beyond dispute, he is Singapore's most successful writer, and I don't expect anyone to surpass him in future, because we just don't have the environment to nurture a second Chua Lam, like the former Hong Kong. I often tell people that Chua Lam is just not puritanical and hypocritical enough to be a good role model. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great weekend.